Have you ever stopped to consider the intricate dance of power and alliances on the global stage? Specifically, what if I told you that within the shadows of the mighty dragon China exists a nation so elusive, so heavily fortified, and so deeply entrenched in its beliefs that even the thought of conquering it seems like an impossible feat? Today we delve into the mysterious realm of North Korea, exploring the intriguing question, why does China's enigmatic neighbor remain unconquerable despite all odds? If you're ready, let's get started. The fact that North Korea can frighten, threaten, and taunt the most powerful country on Earth is not just a result of its nuclear arsenal, nukes, but also of its tactical and strategic strategy. The country has been able to build a significant underground network to protect itself from enemy observation and devastation, thanks to its wide area of mountains divided by deep valleys. Numerous hardened artillery positions such as fighter jet airfields, rocket launchers, and mortars with elevator shafts that can be raised like submarines are located throughout North Korea's extensive underground network. These locations were chosen carefully to aim at anything moving through the mountains, whether it be on the ground or in the air. Kim Il-sung gave the order to start digging tunnels in 1971, stating that one tunnel can be as powerful as 10 atomic bombs. As a result, North Korea boasts some of the longest and deepest tunnels ever constructed. Evidence may be discovered in tunnels that cross the border and end in South Korea. The Defense Ministry acknowledges that there may be 20 tunnels altogether. 3 tunnels were discovered in the 1970s, one in 1990. For instance, one tunnel which extends 400 meters past the demilitarized zone and is 240 feet deep was built to launch a surprise strike on the South Korean capital. North Korea has the benefit of innumerable tunnels and bunkers spread throughout the nation, making it challenging to conquer. It's almost impossible to conquer North Korea. This is why. North Korea currently has enough fissile material for an estimated 20 to 60 weapons, according to the Congressional Research Service. So attacking the nation would be like playing with nuclear fire. The ability to deliver those payloads to targets anywhere in the world is also possessed by North Korea. Currently, North Korea's arsenal includes a wide variety of ballistic missiles. North Koreans allegedly successfully tested their Hwasong-17 ICBM in late March 2023. Over a 684-mile arc, the missile traveled to an altitude of nearly 3,850 miles. With a range of more than 9,320 miles, this item could reach any target in the contiguous United States if it were to fly on a conventional ballistic missile arc. The Hwasong-17 might also be able to transport several warheads, and therein lies the first challenge of a North Korean invasion. The Kim dictatorship would almost definitely respond with nuclear weapons to any invasion of North Korea today. It might be aimed at American bases abroad or at home, such as in Japan or Guam. An invasion of North Korea is essentially impossible at this point due to the nuclear deterrence that's been established. However, North Korea also has another sort of deterrence, even without nuclear weapons. The nation possesses roughly 6,000 conventional artillery units pointed at Seoul, the capital of South Korea. A full-scale bombardment by the North Koreans on Seoul might result in an estimated 200,000 deaths in the first hour. To avoid unprecedented civilian loss in modern times, an invasion of North Korea would need to quickly eliminate these artillery batteries at locations all along the border. It is impossible to destroy all of these systems in time to avert a large loss of civilian life, even though American and South Korean intelligence probably knows where some of these systems are located. With its relationship with the Chinese Communist Party, North Korea has another trick in its sleeve to prevent invasion. China's backing is essential to the survival of the North Korean dictatorship. North Korea only manages to maintain its economy through trade with China. Otherwise, the Hermit Kingdom's economy would have been severely hampered by the devastating economic sanctions imposed on it by the rest of the world. North Korea would swiftly lapse into disorder without Chinese imports as a result of lack of food, fuel, and other necessities. However, there haven't always been good relations between the two nations. Nevertheless, despite China's economic deficit, North Korea still has a strong bargaining position. Even though China doesn't always support the North Korean government, but it needs the Kims to continue ruling for 2 reasons. First off, China's lone ally in the Pacific Basin is North Korea. A line of American friends or friendly countries extends eastward from Japan to Indonesia. Geographical analysts refer to this region as the first island chain. China is effectively blocked off from the Pacific and Indian Oceans by this group of islands, which also poses a threat to Chinese trade. China can avoid total encirclement and keep American or American-aligned armed forces away from its land border because of North Korea's seaward projection. China's initial involvement in the Korean War was motivated by the potential presence of American soldiers on that land border. The second major reason why China wants to maintain the Kims in power is that should North Korea implode, China would have to deal with millions of migrants pouring across its border and wreaking havoc inside its own country. These two possibilities are intolerable to Beijing. Thus, any invasion scenario, including North Korea, will virtually probably result in Chinese involvement, as it did during the Korean War. All of these factors contribute to the Kim regime's justifiable sense of security in its control over its hermit kingdom. In any realistic scenario, the expenses of mounting an invasion are simply too enormous. But what if, in a fictitious scenario, the United States had to lead a different global alliance in a Korean Peninsula war? Is an invasion of North Korea even conceivable? Any invasion on land would be terrifying. The demilitarized zone, or DMZ, along the border would need to be crossed by Allied forces to launch a northward attack, because it's the sole land entry point into the nation. The most strongly defended area of terrain in the world is the Korean Demilitarized Zone, DMZ. Its 160-mile width is covered in millions of landmines. The north has also constructed an electric fence, numerous watchtowers that are perfect for sniping outposts, and machine gun nests in addition to these mines. These would impede the Allied advance and result in severe deaths in the early stages of the conflict, even if they would be detected and eliminated by artillery or air force. According to intelligence, there are at least 800 hardened bunkers close to the DMZ, each of which can house between 1,500 and 2,000 soldiers. Although they would eventually be destroyed as well, it would take significantly longer and give the North Koreans more time to cause fatalities and havoc. As of 2020, North Korea's army had around 1.2 million members, making it one of the biggest in the world. Around 70% of this army is located within 50 miles of the Demilitarized Zone, DMZ. Within this range are 50% of its air and naval assets. The North has a significant number of armed men and platforms within a short and tight range to focus firepower on an enemy invasion force, even though not all of the people stationed at or close to the DMZ are combat forces. Additionally, North Korea has developed a potent arsenal of short and intermediate range ballistic missiles that it will use in the event of an invasion. Its missiles can travel distances between 930 and 2,795 miles. These missiles have the potential to cause significant damage to American sites in the area, from Japan to Guam, even if North Korea decides to merely employ conventional payloads. In just its military parades, North Korea has already shown off enough ballistic missiles to potentially overwhelm American missile defense systems like THAAD. Ballistic missile numbers for North Korea are difficult to quantify, but even if the attacks do not progress to nuclear levels, there are more than enough of them to seriously harm American sites all across the Pacific. In addition to possibly wreaking havoc on American and partner forces on the Korean Peninsula, these ballistic missiles also pose a threat to their supply routes from Japan and other countries. There's also a good chance that North Korea has or is developing tactical nuclear weapons, which would be used in battle to deal massive casualties to the opposing force, but would not be capable of destroying cities. They would undoubtedly be employed by the North to repel an invasion force. Additionally, there is no assurance that a strike across the DMZ would keep North Korea on the defensive. Should another conflict on the peninsula break out, North Korea has long had plans for an offensive into the south. The one-blow non-stop attack would probably combine conventional weaponry with toxic weapons. Despite the concentration of American and South Korean weapons and manpower along the border, Kim Jong-il, North Korea's previous dictator, predicted in 1992 that a lightning offensive over the DMZ might reach Busan in 3 days. The point to be taken seriously is that the North Koreans have enough manpower and weaponry on their own to attack the south, and the possibility of an invasion would need to be taken seriously. Even though this declaration was typical of North Korean boasting and would unlikely to succeed in its grand design. For an extended period, the persistence of the Kim government at the helm of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea has remained a puzzle to global scholars. Although there has been a lot of writing since the early 1990s and even before, much of it has predicted that the dictatorship and the state it rules will fall. However, the Democratic People's Republic of Korea has not changed much, despite minor reforms. The Juche ideology used by the dictatorship has kept the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, DPRK, substantially intact since the early 1990s. North Korea's self-sufficient ideology has enabled it to sustain its economic, political, and military detachment from the global community. But to prevent hunger, North Korea has relied more and more on food supplies since the 1990s. North Korea's closest ally is China, and the two countries have historically enjoyed cordial relations. After Kim Jong-un accepted an invitation to visit Russia in the middle of 2015, and Vladimir Putin was elected president of Russia in 2000, the relationship gained significance again. The asymmetric military strategy that North Korea has been pursuing since the end of the Korean War is reflected in its cyber attacks. Due to the nation's inferior conventional military might compared to that of the United States and South Korea, three military strategic pillars have emerged: surprise attack, swift and decisive battle, and mixed tactics. To confront the conventional military might of the United States and South Korea, North Korea has placed a strong emphasis on asymmetric and irregular operations. In the past, North Korea deployed special operation forces and nuclear, chemical, and biological weapons to further its geopolitical objectives. But as recent cyber attacks demonstrate, one cannot comprehend North Korea by focusing only on its traditional military conflicts with democratic nations. Since the 1990s, North Korea has made significant investments in its cyber capabilities, training cyber warriors and specialists to hack, attack, exploit, destroy, or cause delays to important infrastructure in other nations, primarily South Korea and the US. To improve its cyber capabilities and prepare its workforce for cyber attacks, Pyongyang has established universities such as the Command Automation University, Kim Il-sung University, and Kim Chaek University of Technology. Additionally, North Korea has sent its brightest students for additional training to work with China, Russia, and Iran to strengthen its cyber capabilities. Secret activities have been carried out by the Reconnaissance General Bureau, RGB, which is headed by Kim Jong-un, the leader and chairman of the National Defense Commission, NDC. The center of North Korea's hacking activities is Office 91, which is home to 4 subordinate groups. Because North Korea has few internet connections, the groups based in Shenyang and Dandong, China, are thought to have between 600 and 1,000 cyber warfare agents operating in different stations. The stalemate on the Korean peninsula is something for which we should be grateful. Although the Kims have successfully established themselves in a virtually impenetrable position, where stalemate is the least terrible option among a long list of horrible options, and so makes North Korea nearly impossible to attack, the government in North Korea is an insult to all of humanity. What do you think though? Is it possible to effectively invade North Korea, or is it impenetrable? Please share your thoughts in the comment section. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more informative videos, kindly like this video and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to enable the notification bell so that you will be notified whenever we upload new videos. Thanks for watching, see you in the next video.